Good morning and welcome back to the channel. Usually when I create campaigns, I like to keep things simple, but some people love epic. They want to go hard epic right away. You know what? I understand. Today, that's what we're going to do. Today, I'm going to challenge myself to ditch simple storytelling and create the most epic D&D campaign ever. Let's see if I can pull it off. I'm going to show you every step along the way. You're not going to miss this. Let's dive in. Now, first things first, I knew if I was going to make this epic, I was going to need to move quickly. That's the thing about D&D prep sometimes, isn't it? You don't have a lot of time to waste. First things first, I was going to need a map of the world. For this, I didn't have a bit of time to waste, so I jumped onto Midjourney. Midjourney can create some pretty decent maps. Typed in a few prompts, experimented a bit, and boom, here's what I ended up with. Now this looked pretty cool, but it still needed some city names and locations and stuff like that. So I decided it was time to drop it into Canva. With that being said, in order to add city and place names, I was going to need to come up with some. Now, I could come up with these using my imagination and some creative inspiration. It might take me a little while to do that and come up with stuff I really like. So since I was working with a limited time span, I decided to jump into ChatGPT for some creative inspiration. So this part was pretty simple. I was just going to type some prompts into ChatGPT and basically just get some ideas. And just like that, ChatGPT got to work for me. Now, you can always ask ChatGPT to change things, or you can edit the things it comes up with. Sometimes the stuff that you come up with using ChatGPT isn't so great and you want to edit it. Sometimes it's really cool and you can pretty much copy and paste it. I will admit that that's somewhat rare. Usually you do want to retouch it. But as a general rule, I came up with all kinds of cool stuff to put in my map and I was pretty happy with what I was seeing. So now it was time to actually put the map in Canva and put some of these items on the map. Alright, now that I had the new map imported into Canva, it was time to start taking some of those city names, place names that I generated with ChatGPT and placing them. And boom, just like that, we had a world map. Now, I will admit, I'm no map-making genius. However, the truth is, this was looking pretty good. If you'd like a copy of either this map of Eldrin Vale that I created, or if you'd like a blank copy of this map to work on yourself, I'm going to put both of them in my map collection on my Ko-Fi membership in the ebook store. So if you sign up for my Ko-Fi membership, link is in the description. You can get both these maps and you can edit them as you would like. But here's what I've done with it. And you know what? If my adventure is going to start in the little village of Fellbrook, there's a creepy city down here, and there's a holy city sort of up here. There's a mountain pass here. It's very dangerous. Mountains called the Bleeding Fang Mountains. You know what? This is plenty enough map to start my epic adventure with. And then we can, of course, flesh it out as we go. So boom, map achieved. Now I needed a setting for my adventure to take place in. A world setting, more specifically a local setting, but also we needed to flesh out some things. We needed to prepare the world for the player characters. And to be honest, there's only one tool I trust for a job this big, and that is my structural world building randomizer. This is an ebook with 7D100 tables that basically let you create world settings on the fly using random roll tables. You can download this for just $3 in my personal bookstore, links in the description, or you can get it for free if you sign up for my Ko-Fi community membership. With that being said, it's time to get to work. I need to roll on some random tables and come up with my world state setting. And boom, just like that, I had basically random rolled and come up with all of the major elements of my world state setting. Now I needed to take these and plug them into a more cohesive, written out format so that I could present this setting to my players. Now, I will admit, fleshing out the setting from the basic bare bones structure like this is one of the more challenging aspects of creating a world state, but it is also one of the most fun. This is one of the best parts of the process, in my opinion. But in order to do this, I had to sit down, I had to really do some writing, I had to really piece together some things, and I had to formulate a world state situation that, regardless of player interaction, was going to play itself out in a common sense and rational way. I wanted this to be epic, though, so I spent a little extra time really honing the details and trying to make it big, big, big. I wanted big stakes, big believability, big world state problems, and here's what I came up with. Now, I will admit, I didn't do this by myself. I had some help. In fact, I jumped into my GM Philosophy Discord and basically got a few different ideas, collected some wisdom from the group. There are over 400 game masters right now in our GM Philosophy Discord. So if you like to hang out with other people who run games and you like to talk about TTRPGs and you like to flesh out your world states and you like to get people's opinions on them and collect ideas, then if I were you, I would jump down in the description, click on that Discord invite link and go ahead and join our Discord. If you love Discord and you love TTRPGs, you're not gonna be sorry that you joined. It's pretty awesome. Anyway, I did get some help from some of the awesome pro game masters in our GM Philosophy Discord, and here's what I came up with for my world state setting, more fleshed out. Eldrin Vale, a world on the brink. As you can see, this is all typed out. The whole setting, the world state setting with various different things at play. There's the Blood Oath Federation, there's the Clandestine Poetry Guild, Ancestor Guardian Cult, the Wand Rights Consortium, and then there's some tensions, the grain shortage riots, Drekthor's Hollow, Valmora, and then there's the Where You Begin section, right? Now, this all is starting to take pretty awesome shape. We've even determined a starting point for the player characters. The adventure begins in the small village of Fellbrook, where the sounds of shouting and the pungent stench of animal dung fill the air. Outside the village's small city hall, an angry crowd hurls manure at the town council building, their frustrations boiling over into riotous unrest. The people are starving. The last harvest was meager, and the cost of wheat has soared beyond the reach of most. Inside the dimly lit office of Sheriff Aldrich Varro, you sit waiting. The sheriff, a weary but well-intentioned man, is struggling to keep the peace. He has summoned you, local adventurers of some repute, for a desperate mission. He hands you a sealed message and says, take this to Valmora, ask them for aid, grain if they can spare it, or at least word of when this famine might end. The people are scared, and I fear what may happen if we receive no answer. Then his voice drops to a near whisper, and his tired eyes flick forward to the door. The ancestors have spoken through the lake, he says grimly. They predict 7 more years of drought, unless the harp of the first dawn is returned to its rightful place. He leans back and sighs. I don't know what that means, but I know this. When the lake speaks, it speaks the truth. What Sheriff Varro does not know, what none of you yet suspect, is that the darkness of Drekthor's Hollow has already seeped into Fellbrook. 3 assassins lurk in the village, hidden among the common folk. Their orders? Follow you, intercept your message, kill you if necessary. Let the famine and chaos spread unchecked until all the land between Drekthor's Hollow and Valmora is in ruin, paving the way for an invasion from the south. Unseen eyes are already watching. The mission is clear. Carry the message to Valmora, uncover the truth of the Harp of the First Dawn, survive the dangers that lurk in the shadows. The road ahead is long, the fate of Fellbrook, and perhaps all of Eldrin Vale may rest in your hands. I will admit this was shaping up to be a pretty awesome world state setting, but there was still one more crucial thing we need. Like I said in the beginning, we're going big, we're going epic. We know that we have some small level villains, we have these assassins, but we need a big villain, the epic level villain, the epic level boss, the end game monster or person who's going to try to end the world and bring it under Drekthar Hollow's authority. And for that, there's only one tool I trust. The Ultimate Adventure Generator. This is an ebook I wrote that contains 163 random roll tables to assist you in generating nearly any facet of adventures. It is printed on 310 print-friendly pages. You can random roll nearly anything on this, but let's be honest, right now, we only need it for one thing. We need it to come up with an amazing, dark, malevolent, antagonist that the players will love to hate. So let's find the chapter. Chapter 2, define the main quest or objective. We've already accomplished that. Choose a setting and location. We've already accomplished that. Chapter 4, identify the main antagonist. Let's go to page 64 and get it done. I've got my dice ready. Let's roll for our villain. And just like that, we have fleshed out not only a map, a world state setting, a plot, a starting point for our adventurers, but even a fairly epic level, just destructive, oppressive villain who will no doubt inspire terror. And if you took a close look at that stat block that I generated with ChatGPT, you're gonna definitely probably agree with me that if the players even catch wind of this villain before they are very, very high level, it's going to be a very bad day. This will help to inspire dread and fear as they prepare to face him in this epic level campaign. With that being said, there is still one more step. We need to find some players. As a game master, you can create the most epic campaign setting, the most epic starting point, the most epic villains, the most epic plot arc ideas. But if you do not have players to run the game with, there really isn't a huge point to it. So the best way I've found to find players for your game is to jump into the GM Philosophy Discord. Link to that is in the description. We literally have a looking for games channel specifically dedicated to this. For example, whenever I've planned a game, I've generally filled up my whole roster literally within 24 to 48 hours, and a lot of other game masters have dropped their games in there and found awesome gamers who want to play. Here's a great thing about our Discord too, is that it's filled with game masters, and in my opinion, game masters make the best players. So if you're interested in jumping in and playing virtually with people all around the world, then I would encourage you to use the Discord to find awesome players and fill out your roster so that you can start your game, stop waiting on the sidelines, and get your epic adventure in motion. And of course, if you already have a group, well, you are that much further ahead and basically ready to roll. And that, my friends, is going to conclude this episode of GM Philosophy in the Morning. Thank you so much for coming back, watching another one of my videos. I'm here every single day creating videos about the best game in the world, D&D. Hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, and roll some D100s for me at your next game. I will see you awesome people on the next one.